Hello everyone, let's get started. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to this very special live online training. It's really great to have you with us today. And it gets even more international compared to last month. We have people registered from Switzerland, from the Netherlands, Germany, from Belgium, from the US even, from the UK, Portugal, and quite a few other countries. That's great. Looking forward to serve you all tonight. And I'm sure you're expecting some great information today. Information that helps you turn your business idea into a real business. Or if you already are there and you already have a business, but maybe you're here because you think you can make it even more fly and attract more clients, make more money. Or maybe you're here because at the moment you still only have a one person job and business, and you just really want to automate your business more. You want to work less and still make more money over time. Well, you might want to make the world buy from you even while you sleep, eventually. Or maybe you're here because you would like to get some insights from some of the top entrepreneurs we have around the globe on how they built and grew their business. Well, at the end of this webinar, I'm sure you will feel even more energized again and more motivated to go forward and grow your own business. What do I want you to take away from today? As I said, I'd like you to feel more energized again to move forward with your own business and your own startup if you're just starting out. Also, this is really a one-time only live online training that in this way is never been hosted before, and I'll never host it like this again. And I host it for you on how you can make more money while working less on your side. I'd like to give you more information on how you can save a lot of time and money by selecting the right business idea and make your own business grow. And eventually, as I promised you and as the title is saying, I'd like to talk to you about the 4 keys to make your business fly and to make your business a success. Well, what are these magical keys? Well, a lot of people think that when you start or grow your business, they care more about their business concept or about how to get the money on board, how to finance their startup or their business to get to the next level. They worry much about their marketing plan and how they will sell better. And you're right, these things are all very important, right? But a lot of the people really miss the obvious. They miss to ask the right questions at the beginning. They miss to look at things that really make or break your business. And these are really the 4 keys. And I will reveal each one of those to you today by sharing stories of successful entrepreneurs on how they started and grew their business. I also weave some of my own experience in, and I share with you advice to the clients that I work with all over the globe, and quite a few of them pay me thousands of euros. And I share with you the advice that I give them as much as I gave it to them. And I will share with you some examples of what they did with that advice and how it helped their business, so that you can apply it for your own right away. And these 4 keys really can make or break your business idea or your business. And it will also help you when you apply those 4 keys to not just be an independent coach, trainer, or speaker or consultant. These 4 keys will help you to really build a business, build an enterprise that ideally grows eventually when you are not even around. So let's look into that. And the question is, can each one of you, can each one of us, can every entrepreneur use those 4 magical keys? And my answer really is yes, you can and everyone can. Well, I get a lot of questions like, does it take a lot of knowledge to apply these 4 keys? Well, not really. You can learn them from scratch, as I learned them from scratch. I get a question, do they require a lot of time to work them out for your business? And again, my answer is, it's not no. Yes, it will take a little time, but it will also, once you apply them, save you a lot of time. It's better to look at them early in the process, or when you have already your business, look at them now to really grow your business and apply them, and it will help you really to save a lot of time and money, as it has saved me a lot of time and money. And I'm also asked the question, are they only relevant for startup businesses? And again, the answer is no. At any moment of time, you can apply them for your own business, even now. And I don't know where you stand right now, if you're just starting out, or if you are, at a point where you think you would like to expand your business. Everyone can apply them. They're applicable to every one of you. So how did I find out about them? Let me quickly introduce myself to everyone who doesn't know me, and even for you that already know me a little bit, let me share with you who I am and how I got to learn these keys. Well, my name is Monique Bloxel, and as you might know, I'm the founder of the Business Launch Portal. And these days, I reach thousands of entrepreneurs all over the globe with my business launch shows, and I work with many of them on a regular basis as well. I really work with startup entrepreneurs all over the globe, and most of them really that I work with start making money within their first 3 to 6 months. They find some happy paying clients in that time, and that is reasonable. I also work with established business owners all over the globe. Like last year, for example, I worked with someone in Malaysia on expanding his business, and he's already been in business for 9 years. And within a few months, we just applied some of these keys. He raised his income by 50%, and by closing a big deal shortly after, he'll even more than double his business this year again, just by applying the very first key. And I share with you his story in a moment. Well, the thing is, I do all that today, but it's not always been that way. I really started from scratch as an entrepreneur. I didn't have entrepreneurial parents or anyone that would advise me while I grew up. I grew up really in Eastern Germany, and whoever knows history among you knows that in Eastern Germany, basically people were state employed, resources state owned. I didn't even have the idea that eventually I could start my own business one day. But that changed, the wall broke down, and I started to follow a corporate career in big businesses, having global responsibilities. But I felt at some point that I'm the right fish, but I'm in the wrong pond. And I stepped out eventually, not really knowing at that time what kind of business I wanted to build. So it was, some people would say, really stupid the way I did it. Other people say, well, it was pretty brave and courageous. Well, shortly after, I started to build a business with 5 partners, and even though we were all very experienced business managers, honestly, we failed. We failed miserably, and even though we had a couple of pilot projects with big clients, we didn't really turn them into longer-term, well-paid projects. So we didn't really do very well. And I have to say, looking back at that time, I can say that I learned 10,000 ways of how not to do it, which is often the first step to find out how to do it. And throughout these 18 months, while I worked with them, basically, I invested 18 months to make this business work, and it didn't work. And I probably wasted at that time probably about 50,000 euros. And I really like you, if you're just starting out your business, to avoid these failures and these challenging, moments and this waste of money and time. And eventually I stepped out of this business, and I had a little bit of an idea already how it should work compared to what we did do wrong. And I started to really interview many top entrepreneurs all over the world. And I'll share some of the stories with you today. And I also found a mentor that I started to work with, and I worked with her for almost a year. And she was someone that, had worked with people like Donald Trump and Tony Robbins and a lot of those very successful entrepreneurs and people. And she was passing on a lot of the things that she learned to me. And it really opened my eyes, and she opened me a lot of doors to move forward and to build my own business launch portal successfully now. And I started really to share what I learned, and I want to share some of this today with you, obviously. So this is a little bit about the story of how I learned, to get a business started in a successful way and how to grow a business in a successful way. And today I work, as I said, with clients all over the world, and each one that I work with, again, I learn something more. So you get quite a little bit of consolidated information here today. So this is a picture of quite a few of the people that I interviewed. These are really people from all over the world. Some of them are youngsters. They started when they were teenagers. Some of them are already in their late 60s or 70s even. Quite a few of them by now are multimillionaires. And yeah, it's really incredible, the stories that I have collected all around those. And all these help me to really filter out what are the four keys that we need to consider to either before we start a business, ideally, and if you're already running your business, looking at them at the moment, and to really make sure that you grow your business in the right way. So let's start to look at some of these stories. Let me share with you, for example, the story of Vincent Hong Fei Lee. He is the guy that I mentioned earlier, the entrepreneur in Malaysia that I worked with last year. And I don't know if you know the guy beside him. That is Datuk Ahmad Mazlan, the Deputy Minister of Finance Malaysia. So he recently got in touch with him to really discuss his business and entrepreneurs' challenges in Malaysia right now. So he was already 9 years in business, and when I started to work with him, he wanted to implement a new shopping system in Asia, and he didn't really know how to finance that, system development and system testing. And I just started to ask him the following questions. I asked him, Vincent, who are the people or the organizations or the businesses that you want to serve? Who are your future clients that will be interested to buy these shopping systems? I also asked them, what is it that these people, these shop owners, what do they need? What problems do they have? And how can you address these problems? And we started to craft out the answers. And not only did he find, once he had the answers and he knew how to communicate them to his clients, not only did he find new clients for the shop system, he even signed up clients before he even got the systems ready. And he even found clients that were interested not only to buy these systems and invest in them so that he could build them, they were even volunteering to help him develop these new systems. So the learning from that story is really what you need to look into before you start anything is have a clear idea about who are your clients, who are the people you'd like to serve, what needs do they have, and so on. So that is the key number one, know your clients. So what is the second story? The second story is about a guy called Hans Tjolle. He's from Belgium, and he is the owner of a company called Conselo. And honestly, he's a serial entrepreneur. And he developed, for example, a new payment system called Paycento. And again, even before he had the system up and running and the business up and running, he triggered so much interest that magazines and newspapers like the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Reuters, and others were starting to speak about it. So how did he do it? And how did he know that the business he was about to build had enough potential to trigger that interest? Well, he just always checks first before he starts any new business. He's asking himself the question, what is the potential profit in this? How much money can I make? Is there a market? Who would pay for it? How much would they pay for it? When would they pay for it? How willing would they be able to pay? And would they be willing and able to pay? So he's really starting to look into how much money and profit can he make before he even starts going forward with his business. So this is something also, either you start when you are just about to start your business, or when you are thinking about ways to expand your business. You definitely need to start asking yourself the second question, what money can I make with this? And what profit can I generate with this? And only when you have at least a rough idea, you start moving forward and build a more sophisticated business model and business plan. Okay, so that's the story of Hans. Let's look at Vitaly, the third guy in the row today. Well, Vitaly is really a serial entrepreneur. He is originally an Ukrainian, but he lives in the US right now. He also lived many years in Australia. And he built quite a few businesses and also an academy that helps entrepreneurs to grow their business. He also sells art in very profitable ways in the US. He's written a book, he had his own TV show, and so on and so on. So pretty successful entrepreneur. But why do I bring him up here today? Because before he builds any new business, he does a thorough check on the market and on the competitive situation. So he knows exactly what do his clients want and who else offers that in what way, for what price, and so on. So that he basically finds a niche. He's a niche-focused entrepreneur. So he's looking at what are competitors not offering that I could offer to people, at what price, and so on. So this way, he's built already more than 50 internet businesses pretty successfully. So the third key that I'd like to share with you today is spy on your competition before you even start going out there and building your own solution. You need to understand the market. You need to understand who else is in there and what are they offering. So let's move to number 4 today, Mike Kumasakis, and he's the last one before we move forward. Mike is an entrepreneur that I appreciate a lot as well. I found him in Greece. He's the founder of a company called Figame. And he did something that no one would think would be possible. He just started another online travel portal. And he's doing something very well that differentiates him from many others. He's setting up a sophisticated and automated system that works even when he is sleeping. And he's doing it very different than many other travel platforms like Expedia and so on, where he's able to offer his flights and trips and hotels much cheaper than competition could. And how does he do that? Because he's setting up his business in very lean ways. He has a small, very effective team. He has very low operational costs and so on. But the most important thing, as I said, is that he did not just build a job for himself. He really built an automated business that self-multiplies itself. And the result of that is that in the last 5 years, he more than doubled his revenue every single year, from year to year. And he has become one of the fastest growing businesses in Greece. So let me summarize the learning from his story. Mike is really looking into how to build a self-multiplying system and business instead of just building a business and a job for himself. So now you might ask the question, that's cool stories. Sounds like really successful stories, and probably it's just one of 1,000 or so. Can I really do that? Does that really apply to me? So a lot of people ask the question, can I do what these guys have done? And what do their stories have to do with me? Can I do all that? Well, guess what? I've also built a business that is growing in itself right now, and I'm expanding mine. But you've also seen the stories of these 4 guys that have done the same. And neither did I, nor did they have any clue how to do it. A lot of you might not have any idea how to get actually a business started in the first place. Or you might still be a one-man or one-woman show, and you might not see opportunities how to really build an automated self-multiplying business for yourself. Well, but my answer is really, yes, you can, as everyone can do this. And you just need to apply these 4 keys that I described. A lot of people say, well, Monique, but doesn't it take a lot of time to do it? Well, yes, it does take a little time. But honestly, In today's world, it doesn't need to take a lot of time to become a market leader anymore. I shared the story of Mike with you, and he has built his business and became a market leader within his country over just as quickly as 3 years. Also, in terms of time, let me share with you another quick story. I spent quite some time in Malaysia again last year and participated in the Global Entrepreneurship Summit. And just before the summit started, there was a global youth startup event where they brought together 500 youngsters at the age of 18 to 25. And within less than 48 hours, we had brought built teams of 10 people. These people didn't know each other when we got them together. And within less than 48 hours, they came up with a business idea that would change the world in a positive way. They also built a business concept. They built an app, which was App Store ready. So they had a product to sell. They built a Facebook community. They built a website. They started to do some market research, and close to 100 people said, yes, I would buy this app, or I would use this app in certain ways. And they actually crafted a pitch, all of that in 24 hours. So I'm not saying it's in 24 hours a multi-million-dollar business, but starting a business these days can be done pretty quickly. And that experience really even opened my eyes again, how quickly a business can be started or can be, turned around in a certain way. So yes, it takes a little time, but it takes takes away much more time if you don't use these 4 keys, if you don't think about them for your own business. So I rather suggest invest a little time now and save a lot of time later. And even if you don't know how to do it at the moment, learn by doing it. Just get started. I knew nothing. The majority of entrepreneurs that I interviewed, they started from scratch. They knew nothing about how to build a business. And as I said, quite a few of them turned into multimillionaires over time. So I shared quite a few stories with you, and you might say, well, it's great to hear these stories, but Monique, we still don't know how to do it ourselves, really. So let's turn away from the stories and get a little more practical. And let me share with you what concrete things you can do to use these success keys for your own business. Shall we do that? Okay, let's jump into it. Let's look into the first one, as I said. Know your clients. That was the first one. That's the number one. So you might wonder, how can I actually know my clients before I even have them? If I want to expand into a new market, how can I actually get to know my clients before I actually have them? And the first thing you need to, of course, ask yourself is, who is it that you would like to serve? Even if you already have clients, it can help you to get a better understanding of your current clients. So ask yourself the question, who am I serving today? Or if you're just starting out, who would I like to serve in the future? And if you have no idea at all at the beginning, just make assumptions and choose and say, well, I would like to serve these type of people. And a lot of people come to me and say, well, Monique, can I just choose who I would like to serve? And the answer is yes, you can. It's a big world. You're a big boy or girl, or you're a big lady and gentleman. And no one forces us anymore as entrepreneurs to work with specific people. It's not like we are in a job where we need to deal with the people that are around us and we need to accept the boss that we have. As an entrepreneur, you choose your people. So you choose, who would you like to serve? And once you have made your decision, and I don't want to overwhelm you with this overview, but I'd like to give you a couple of hints of what questions you could ask to understand your clients better. So let me just highlight certain areas. So at the beginning, and I don't know when you've done that the last time, when was the last time that you asked yourself, who actually are my clients? Are these rather individuals, individual people? Or are these rather organizations like businesses or institutions? Who would you like to focus on? And then ask yourself, if it's people, for example, Well, what are their demographic characteristics? What age do I, what do I want to work with? Any kind of people, or with people that are maybe, younger people? Or do you want to work with people that are just in student ages? Or do you want to tap into the market and say, well, there's more and more people aging. There's a big growing market there to say, I want to work with people that have retired. So try to describe the client group that you want to work with as concrete ways as you possibly can. And think about, would you rather work with men or women? Who would benefit more from what you think you would like to offer? So just describe these people. Also think about things like, what magazines do they read? Where do they meet? What are they interested in? What are their preferences in life and business, and so on? And there's one word which is here I'm saying it's a limbic map. You might or might not have heard of it, but besides just simply describing your preferred and target clients, you also might want to ask yourself, how do these people make sense in the world? How do they see the world? Are they rather the more adventurous people, or are they more the structured people that rather focus on reputation and status and discipline? What kind of people would you like to work with? And using this limbic map, and I just mentioned it, you can Google it later, or you can ask me afterwards more questions about it if you like. But this limbic map helps you also to understand better, what type of people would I like to work with? Because you need to keep in mind that even though you run a big business, business is always done between people, from person to person. There needs to be a connection. So you need to make sure that the people that and organizations you want to approach fit who you are as an entrepreneur. And the second one is looking at needs. And as you know, probably from own experience, it's really the needs that drive us in our life. Either we have problems that we want to get away from, any frustrations or pain points or whatever, or we have ambitions that drive us. We have dreams, we have wishes that drive us forward. So you need to really ask yourself, what problems do my potential clients have that I can help them solve? Or what kind of dreams and wishes and ambitions do they have? What would they like to have in their life or in their business that they don't have at the moment? And we're going to have a look into those in a minute in a little more detail. But you need to really understand the needs of your clients to be able to serve them well and to build your business. So then also you need to understand, is the client group that you have in mind, is that a good fit to your business? Do you fit to them as a person? Do they think like you, feel like you, act like you, approach things the way you do, and so on? So is there a fit between you or your teams, if you already have a team, and your clients? Is there a good fit on the people side? Also, is looking at the problems they have, is the solution, the products, the services you like to offer, is that a good fit to their needs, right? You might just really think, okay, I'd like to offer a certain support. Like, for example, I would like to help people become better speakers. Well, but if you want to serve people that are programming apps, well, maybe then they might not need that, right? So you need to check if the solution, the products and services you would like to offer are a good fit to this target group, right? And also you need to think about, can you make money with it? And we talk about that later in a minute. And also you need to understand, well, what is the market potential after all? If you have certain people in mind, but it's only a very, very small number of people that you would like to serve, then you need to really think about, can I sell something to these people at a price that is still worth doing, the job of developing this product? Is it worth doing it? How big is the market? How many potential clients are out there? You need to understand the competitive situation, of course, and we talk about that later again as well. And you need to also understand, is it easy to sell to them? Is it easy to reach them? Do they all gather at the same place? Do they read the same thing so that I can reach them? And also, are they able and willing to pay a certain amount? So there's a lot of questions, I know, but just pick a few of those and maybe just start with describing your clients. And even today, if you have a business, start diving into who are your clients at the moment and who are these the clients that you would like to serve going forward. Just today, I had a chat with a startup entrepreneur, and she's saying, well, at the moment, it's mostly other startup entrepreneurs that approach me, but these are not the ones that I'd actually like to work with in the future. So it's actually important to understand, are the clients you're working with the clients that you really want to work with? And think about where is the gap, and how do you describe the clients you really want to work with, and what needs do they have, what problems and ambitions do they have? And I know a lot of people struggle with really figuring out what are problems, what are ambitions of their potential clients or their current clients. So let me just give you again a couple of hints of what you could look at. Now in this picture, you see a guy that is running from his office to the beach. Well, obviously he has a need, right? He wants to go to the beach. Well, but there's quite a range of customer needs that you might want to consider that help you figuring out for your own clients. And I talk here about the customer needs, the 7 Ps, and what are they? Well, if you think about it, a lot of, especially when you work with businesses, they often want to either reduce their cost or increase their revenue, right? So if you can help them raise their profit, you have a good chance to actually sell them anything, right? Just to maybe also again give you an example. Right now, when I run my startup programs with startup entrepreneurs, well, I can say to them, if you basically reach your clients faster and you make more money than if you would do it on your own, would it not be worth the program fees? And a lot of people say, yes, it's true. I mean, I don't think at the moment, I don't even know who I would like to serve and, what their needs are and what exactly I would like to offer. If I figure that out faster, I can make money faster. So it's not only that they make more money than what they thought originally they could make, but also it saves them time. That's the second P, is a time aspect, right? So if you save someone time, you get them to reach their goals faster, they are more likely to happily buy from you. And time also has another component. Certain products are only available at a certain time, like fruit that are only maybe certain fruit are only available in a certain season. Well, the funny thing is, when I grew up, an apple was only available in summer. Today I can buy apples the whole year round, right? So someone has picked up the need that, I and many other people would like to have certain fruit all year round. So you can ask yourself the question, do your clients need something at a certain period of time, and at that time it's normally not available, so you could make it available to them at that time. Another aspect you might want to look at is pressure. So I guess all of you have something in your business that you really don't like doing. A lot of people that I know, especially creative people, they don't like to do accounting, for example. So accounting is something, doing the figures and doing the tax return calculations and so on, is something we don't like to do very much often. And me personally, I don't either. So that's why I have an accountant. So basically, you need to ask yourself the question, are there things that your clients are forced to do today that they would really happily pass on to you, that you could take off their shoulders in the future? And just think about how can you build a solution around that. Then the next one, the Pansophy, you might never have heard about this, but it's the universal information and universal knowledge. And also around information, there is a lot of customer needs. You know that sometimes you think, I wish I would know that at the moment. And you would probably even pay money to get that information, right? So there is a lot of businesses that help you get transparency on something or consolidate information and make money this way. So think about what information could your clients need that you could give them, that they would pay money for. Then there's other elements like pride, for example, status or appearance. I mean, the whole fashion industry is built around that one, right? Where people want to be, especially as the ladies, we would like to look beautiful and men would like to look handsome. So we're spending a lot of money on our cosmetics and our clothes and so on. So a lot of businesses are built around pride. So think about, is there something you can give your clients to make them to make them look better? Not necessarily physically look better, but that helps them increase their reputation, for example. Often in the speaker business, that's the case. When we help people to become better speakers, they present themselves better and they become more successful in life, right? Another aspect is peace. So, for example, insurances, they play with the peace factor. People want to have a peace of mind. And the funny thing is, we all pay a lot of money for insurances, and when something happens, often we don't get anything back anyhow, right? And even though we know that, we still pay money into the insurances. So is there something that you can reassure your clients with so that they pay you money for that? Is there something where you can give them a stronger peace of mind? And then also pleasure. You might think it's not a big need for people, especially in serious businesses, but that's not true. That's not really true. And especially in the startup world, you might have heard of the gamification trend. Every technical startup that I know at the moment thinks about how can I make my app more playful so that people have fun using it. So it's really the fun aspect. How can you make your clients have more fun, have more pleasure using your services, using your products? How can you weave maybe an aspect of adventure in? How can you give them an experience that makes them feel good, right? So, just giving these hints to you to think about what are the needs of your clients really. And I'm sure within this sheet alone, you spending this hour on this live online training is already worth it, because this sheet is pure gold. It gives you a lot of hints and inspiration to offer something to your clients that you might not be offering yet today, right? So that was the second key. That was the first key. Know your clients, and that is the most important one, and that's why I spent so much time on that one as well. So I hope you took some ideas away of what you could offer your clients going forward. So the second key is, as we said, it's see your money, right? It's all about thinking about how much profit can you make in your market. And that, of course, profit, as you know, it starts with revenue, right? And the more revenue you make, the more profit you make, of course. And the revenue is often triggered by your product, of course, and also by the price that you assign to your product. And the price is something where a lot of people don't approach it from the right perspective. And that means that they're not making a lot of money. For example, here in Germany, where I'm located right now, basically there's a lot of coaches that charge their clients a fee per hour. Like I charge you 80 euros per hour or something. I personally never do that. I work with clients and I work out with them what is it that you really want to achieve in what period of time, and what would that be worth to you achieving that. So I make thousands of euros where some people just make maybe a couple of €100. But just because I make people see the value of working together, right? So this is something you need to think about. What is the value of what you want to offer? Instead of just say, what are people used to and so on? Of course, that also plays a role. But rather ask yourself, how much time do you save them? And what is that in financial terms? How much will you help them increase their profit? And what is it worth it? And what is the value of your product? So what is it worth them to have that fun aspect and so on, right? And of course, eventually you want to ask them, but before you go out and ask them, you need to think it through in your own mind. And just yesterday, again, I had another discussion with an Asian entrepreneur, and he said, "Oh, I'm gonna charge for my app whatever, seven ringgit per user per month. And I say, well, where did you come up with this number? And what is it really worth your clients to use this app? And we changed his perspective, and he's going to go in possibly with an entirely different price. But what you should always do is ask yourself, what is the value of what you offer your clients? And you can make much more money than what you might be making at the moment. And you should also ask questions like, how fast will you be able to make profit? Or are your clients happily paying? Are they happily paying enough to cover your cost? Are there maybe available budgets to tap into if you're working with organizations? Is there money readily available or not? Or do you need to have long-term negotiations before you actually gain these clients? All these kind of things you need to keep in mind. How fast can you make profit? Also, do you expect certain high costs like marketing and sales costs or production costs or whatever? Whatever there is, just have a rough understanding before you start building any business concept. Just have a rough understanding, is there a potential profit in your idea? And only when you have at least a rough yes on that one, then you move forward with your idea and your business and your new business idea. So that is number 2, see your money. And then the third one is really know your competitors, right? How much profit can you make? That is number 3. And why is it important to really look at your competitors? Well, first of all, it gives you a chance and an opportunity to position yourself in the market in the right way. Check, are your competitors high price providers or low price providers? How do you want to position yourself in comparison to them, right? And also it will help you to find your own niche. You will find out that maybe a competitor is offering low price flights and maybe low price hotels, but they might not be offering low price car rentals or whatever. So just look into what is it that competitors are offering that attracts a big crowd, but what is it that they are not offering at the moment? Another way of looking at that is also you want to look into, are the clients of your competitors at the moment maybe unhappy about something? Something that they're maybe not doing well, or they're delivering too late, or they're not responsive in customer service, or whatever it might be. Find these unhappy spots of the clients of your competitors, and you will definitely find opportunities for you to position yourself and your products and your offering in a different way. So I just gonna share with you how you can spy on your competition, and also gonna share with you a couple of things, not in as much detail as on the client side, but I'm gonna highlight a few things here. You also need to have a clear understanding of who your competitors are. For example, if you are an expert, you're a speaker or you're a consultant or a coach or whatever, just always ask who in your field, in your industry, in your market are your 20 top competitors. And make sure you have a list of them. I meet again a lot of entrepreneurs that don't know even who their competitors are in that market. And just really pick the key ones and describe them in detail. What are they doing? How strong are they in the market? Are they pretty well known? What market share do they have? Are they dominating the market, or are there many smaller competitors? Who of those are the biggest ones? Also, do they have strong partners that they are working with that keeps their back pretty strong? Also look at who are their clients, right? And how, what are the needs for those clients? Are they happy? Is there something that you could offer that they are not happy with at the moment? The next one also, what do they offer? How do they position themselves in the market? What products and services do they offer? At what price and so on? And how do they operate? Are they successful in a certain country or in a certain region? And can you do what they do in your region as well? And how do they produce things? How do they deliver things? How do they approach their clients? What messages do they give into the market? How do they sell and so on? All these kind of things you want to look into, right? So know your competition. And the question is, how do you find that information? That is a challenging one as well. Well, there's a lot of ways how you can actually understand your competitors better. You can do online research. Of course, there's a lot of forums and question and answer lists and exchange groups and so on that you can look into. Also, go out and speak to potential clients, speak to potential competitors and so on, and ask them questions. Try to understand what they do and how they do things and why they do them this way. Also, what you might or might not have heard of before is set up a social media listening station. There's so many options to do this, so become a spy on the social media side. Set up Google or Twitter alerts, or find Twitter followers, or monitor certain blogs where you find people that might be your potential clients. There's a lot of ways of how to do this. Okay? Well, again, let's summarize. You need to know your competitors. And the last one that really makes a big difference to a lot of entrepreneurs in terms of really making them much more successful than what they are at the moment. You want to eventually self-multiply your business. You want to automate your business. You don't want to be the only one delivering your services maybe at some point. So how do you do that? Well, there's several ways of how you can do that. And here you see two guys on the beach. So the question is, do you eventually want to make money while you do something else and you're not at a client's location and you're not working with your client? If that is something you dream about, you might not necessarily want to sit on the beach all the time, but you might want to start new businesses. And there's several ways of how to do this. Either you bring a team together that delivers what you're delivering right now, right? Or you automate your business in a certain way. So you sell products online, for example. If you are an expert in something, you can automate your expertise and sell online products, right? For example, ebooks, DVDs, audios, online programs, and there is a almost unlimited opportunity of products that you can sell these days. And a lot of people don't do it because, again, they don't know how to do it. And let me tell you, it's actually pretty simple and straightforward. You just need to learn it once, and then you can actually do it again and again. And the great thing is, once you have one product up, people will start buying it while you're doing something entirely different. Like about 10-15 people signed up to this webinar while I was sleeping last night. So you need to also ask yourself questions. What is the upscaling potential in my business? Can I produce a product that I can sell again and again without creating extra effort on my side? Can I find marketing or sales partners that sell my products on my behalf? Um, Also, are there opportunities to upsell so that you're not just selling one product to one client, but you just rather offer your client something at a low price at the beginning, and then you make an increased offer, and then you sell something bigger over time? Is that something you can do? Or can you self-duplicate your business, like you work with affiliate partners? That's probably in line with what I said earlier on finding sales partners. Someone that sells your offer in harmony and in line with what they have to offer. So a lot of trainers and coaches and speakers do that. For example, they bring each other onto stage or sell their online products in combination with their own. So that is really the question: is that an opportunity that you have, either to build a team or to automate the selling of certain products, or to tap into any upscaling potential that you might see for your own business? Well, let's come back to the question. Well, Monique, you've shared a lot of information with us now, right? So the question is, can you start your own business successfully or upgrade your own business using these 4 keys that I mentioned? And my clear answer on that is yes, you can. Everyone can. It's sounds complicated, but it's just a step-by-step approach that you can take, and everyone can do that, even though you might not know much about how to do it at the moment. So what you should do is start asking yourself some of these questions that I shared with you today. Who are my potential clients? What do I know about them? What are their needs? And so on. Also think about how much money, how much potential profit can I generate in the future? Who else is in that market that might become potential competitors? What do they offer? And also, before you even start building a business plan and business concept, start asking yourself, is there a potential in upscaling? Is there a potential in automating my business? Because if you don't have that potential, all you do is you build yourself another job. You're not building a business. So these are the questions you need to start asking yourself, and then just take one idea, one inspiration, one thing you can do, and just test it out for yourself. Just take one, whatever, maybe even what you've heard on this online training now, whatever you got triggered in your mind, pick it up, test it out, and see if it works. And it might already make a difference to your own business right now. The only thing you should not do is think about, well, I really don't know how to do it, so I'm not even starting. Or it will take too long, so I'm not really starting. Because if you start now, in a short period of time, you will be much further than where you were when you started, right? So as they say, I mean, the best way to start a business was 20 years ago. The second best moment is now, or to start something that you dream about. Second best moment is always now. So don't just get don't be afraid that you might not know how to do things yet. Just get started and just go forward and try it out for yourself. Okay? So at the beginning of the training, I mentioned that I will give you a gift at the end. And I know whoever of you has been in a webinar before, you're probably expecting me to sell you anything now, right? Well, sorry to disappoint you. I will not sell you anything right now, apart from selling you your own time. I'd like to have you go forward and invest your own time in yourself to find out who are your clients, who are your potential competitors, what can you learn from them, what can you do to bring your own business forward, to start your own business. So just invest this time in yourself and move forward. I really want to inspire and empower you to rocket your ideas into a business, into enterprise. And I want to do everything I can to make you successful doing it. So, therefore, I have a special gift for you. If you would like to have a consolidated list of what is it that I need to check to decide which business idea should I go forward with, or is this business idea that I want to go forward with valuable? Well, then I can share with you that checklist. Also, if you want to watch this live online training again, you can do that, and it's going to be free. You can go back to it again and again if you like. And also, there is a special offer that I have for you. If you want to talk through your own business, where you stand right now, or you have any questions on what you heard so far in this session today, I'm happy to offer you a 30-minute strategy session with me. And again, it's going to cost you nothing. So if you want to discuss your business idea or you have any questions, then let me know. And all you have to do is drop me an email to this email address, and just let me know if you want to have the checklist or you want to have a session with me. The first 5 people that get in touch with me gonna get this session today. Not today, but gonna get one of these free sessions, and I'll get back to you when in the next 1 to 2 weeks we can have that discussion on your own business plans and on your own business. Okay? So all you need to do is drop me an email. So I really hope that I could serve you today on this live online training. And I really hope that it triggered some ideas and thoughts in your mind. and it will empower you to start your own business, to grow your own business, to become more successful on your own side. And yeah, well, I really hope that I could give you some inspiration here, and that you picked up something that will be useful to you going forward. I'm sure there were quite a few things, and the question is, are you going to take action? Are you going to really pick up these ideas you had right now and move forward with them? And if you want to have the 30-minute strategy session with me, drop me an email. As I said, take action. It's an opportunity for you to discuss what we've discussed today in more detail, just around your own business. So I'd like to officially close the official training round, but I give you the opportunity to ask still some questions. So I'll still stay around for a little while to answer some questions you might have. So wonderful to have you on today. Take the opportunity to still ask some questions if you like. I enabled the chat box now. So if you have still some questions you would like to ask me right away, feel free and do it. I'll still hang around for a few minutes. Okay, great. It looks like you rather want to talk to me privately, so I wish you a great evening. Thanks for being on. Keep going forward with your own business, and great to have you on today. Thank you. All the best to you, and keep rocketing your ideas into enterprise. We are all here to help you. Bye bye for now.